That's what we're going to talk about again. How is it their policies destroy our biology and what we must do? You see, this last part is very important. We don't want to leave people hanging. You have a lot of these grifters right now who are exposing this, exposing that, exposing this. By the way, they expose stuff long after the damage has been done, like firemen coming after the houses burned down. And you can see this guy, Tucker Carlson, doing this right now. One of the biggest dopes and one of the biggest grifters, his father comes from the CIA. He's part of the CIA. He wanted to apply to them. And it is my opinion that instead, the CIA said, instead of you joining us, why don't you just become a talk show guy, and we can use you better. And that's what he really is. So if you think about the stuff he's talking about Obama right now, you have to wonder, why didn't they bring this up when it occurred? Because it was all out there. So now he's sensationalizing this to basically get views and distract people from real issues. I don't frankly care whether Obama was gay or whether he did cocaine, that's whatever. But I do care that Obama saved big banks. I do care that he saved Tucker Carlson's friendly bankers in 2008. You see, they don't want to talk about that. They want us to talk about issues that none of us can have any effect on. So we want to talk about issues that we can affect and change. So one of the biggest issues that we need to understand is that right now we're gearing up for what they call an election. And as many of you know, in 2020, we exposed in Bear View, the first ones to expose it, how all of these elections are selections by two primary issues. The signature verification is nonsense. I did a PhD level work on that, two major reports. And then we showed the chain of custody issue where they delete ballot images. But that's at the end when the election day occurs. But the elections, ladies and gentlemen, are fraudulent all the way up to that because they are deciding who will get on the debate stage. They are deciding who will get visibility on the left and the right. And the people that they give visibility to are not you or I, not everyday people who come bottoms up. They're one of them. And you have to either be in the club to get visibility or you have to pay them a load of money. Now, in our case in 2020, because of the great work that we did, exposing Fauci, exposing lockdowns, giving people solutions on how to boost their immunity, it was my historic lawsuit that exposed fully the backdoor portal to Twitter, all that great work, hard work. I can't tell you, probably the closest person who knows how much hard work I did was probably I got 2 hours sleep during 2020 and 2021, doing all this work. And that is what working people do. We work for a living. These people do not work. But it was out of that effort in 2020, about 500 million people came to know about our work, our movement, etc. And the problem, the unfortunate problem that they have is they're trying to make us invisible now when the cat's really out of the bag. The movement for truth, freedom, health, Dr.SHIVA for president, Dr.SHIVA's work, which is my work, is all out there. And I use Dr.SHIVA in the third person because we've actually become, Dr.SHIVA, Truth, Freedom, Health has become all of us. It's become a brand that everyone identifies with someone who will always tell the truth, fight for freedom, and take care of your health. So that's what we've become. No other movement on the planet has identified or given each one of you the tools, the surgical tools to do the surgery, and that's called system science, to understand what the real problems are in any situation. And that is what our Truth, Freedom, Health Warrior program does. It took me 50 years to put that into a program, to create the curriculum. If you want to go study civil engineering, you go to a program in civil engineering. If you want to go study electrical engineering, go to a program in electrical engineering. If you want to become an electrician, you go to a vo-tech school. But if you want to study revolution engineering, how you actually change the world, we're the only sort of game in town. And it took a long, long time to organize this. Using this systems approach that we offer, Truth, Freedom, Health, we're able to take any issue and dissect it, peel away all the onion layers using this framework, and then find what the real problem is and what the real solution is. And that's how we have to start thinking about it. Stop thinking about this as left and right. Stop thinking about it as up and down. Think about it. What am I actually looking at? Do I have the tools to understand what I'm looking at and what's the solution? And those tools are the foundations of system science, which we've made accessible to everyone on the planet at Truth, Freedom, Health. About a month ago, I did a video called The Swarm. I think it's got about 40 million views all over the world in spite of all the shadow banning. Others took our video and they started downloading and uploading it to get their views. That's great. Let them pirate our stuff, but the content got out there and they gave us credit. Unlike other people would steal our stuff and act like we never exist. That's called plagiarism. But we got a lot of this stuff out there, and that was a Swarm video. A few weeks after that, I did a video called How Policies Affect Biology. And when I did that video, I brought it back to the central thesis. And we're the only movement, the only presidential campaign, for that matter, any politician talking about this. Over the last 60 years, the lifespan of Americans has been going downward. In fact, it's an upside down umbrella in a sense. So if you have a child today, your child will have a shorter life than you, does have a shorter lifespan than you. So again, I tell people, I repeat this over and over again, because it's probably a very important key performance indicator of the swarm. If you were going to give them an A, B, C, D, and you were going to grade them, you would give them a big fat F minus, minus, minus. Because over the last 60 years, Republicans and Democrats have made sure that your child has a shorter lifespan than you. That's what they've delivered, okay? That's what they've delivered. That's like looking at the results. Everything else they say is all shit. Because of your policies, my child's lifespan is shorter than mine. And that's what we need to focus on. Why is your child's lifespan lifespan shorter than yours if they're doing such a great fucking job, because they're not doing a great fucking job. This is done by design. So again, if I took an x-axis, and if you could think about this, it goes from 1970 to 80 till today, and you drew a curve, the US curve goes in inverse parabola, upside down. That is what they've delivered. And you cannot let them get away with this. You cannot say that you're going to vote this out by voting for the lesser of two evils. It's not going to happen. And if you're doing that and you're thinking like that, you're doing a serious disservice to yourself and to your children. You're killing your children. And life is very short. If you're 60, you probably have another 20 to 30 years. Okay? If you're 50, you have another 30 to 40 years, whatever the numbers are. Life is very short, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're here, we have to always do the right thing. We can't take shortcuts. Choosing the lesser of two evils, Democrat or Republican, for the last 60 years is why they're killing your children, and your child's lifespan is shorter now than yours. Let that really, really sink in. And if that has sunk in, I'm going to now offer you the analysis of that. Again, all of you should become Truth, Freedom, and Health Warrior Scholars. Go to truthfreedomhealth.com, take the program. You can't get it anywhere else in the world. You can spend 30 years at MIT, you won't be able to do other things. But when you apply that analysis, you will really start to understand what the hell is going on. And what you will understand is over the last 60 years, their policies, forget about emotions or who gets in there, actual policies that have been passed by Democrat and Republican. And this goes for all over the world, Labor Party and Tory Party, conservative and liberal, all over the world. These policies have affected your physiology, your biology. And the only one who can educate you on that is someone like me. You're looking at an engineer who's a biological engineer, an electrical engineer, a mechanical engineer, who's one of the leading guys in the world on the immune system. And I actually care about educating people because I'm one of you. I'm one of us. You know, I still have loyalty to working people because I still work for a living. These people don't work, man. They just bullshit all day. They're Maximus. For God's sake, take the cat of nine tails to them like Christ did in the temple. And if you don't do that, you're not doing God's work. You have to go after these people. And that's what we do at Truth, Freedom, and Health. And we don't care if they call us arrogant. We don't care, oh, you're so mean. We say, fuck you, okay? Because if you're willing to let this occur, something's wrong with you. And we're not going to allow it. No other presidential candidate will do this. They're going to say, well, when I get into office, douchebag Trump puts out a video a week ago. He goes, we will not comply. The mask mandates are coming. The vaccine mandates. We will not comply. Well, the motherfucker is the one who supported the vaccine mandates and the mask mandates while in office. And then he said, oh, I can't do anything. This is done by the states, when he coordinated with the states. And now he's saying, if you vote him back into office, he's going to help you. Come on, everyone. This guy's full of shit. He's full of shit. Vivek the slimy snake is full of shit. All of them are full of shit. But yet you keep voting for these fucking people because you don't have the dignity to recognize that they don't give a damn about you. I give a damn about you. Our movement does. And look at the work that we did in 2020. And no one paid us for it. So it's time we start seeing who our real brothers and sisters are. Don't think a guy who's got a golden plated toilet, plays golf all fucking day, is going to help you. Don't think Vivek the snake, who's a little douchebag Brahmin, big pharma brown noser, who literally buys failed drugs, puts to companies and knows they're failed and makes millions of dollars, is going to help you. Don't think a demented fool like Joe Biden is going to help you. Don't think a doofus like Cornel West, who's a complete fool, is going to help you. Don't think Carlson's going to help you. Don't think Joe Rogan's going to help you. Don't think Jimmy douchebag Dore is going to help you. I'm going to help you. And how can I say that? Because I've already helped you. So it's time we start valuing people who do the fucking work. I do the fucking work. You do the work. And it's unfortunate that we have to promote ourselves. You see why? Because they're not going to promote us. They make us invisible, but they have a fucking problem because in 2020, 500 million people got to know the work that we did. And now it's time for you to recognize, oh my God, this guy's fucking for real. And it's hard for people to understand they're real people because they get bamboozled. They can't appreciate how hard I work and how hard our movement works because they don't work, you know? That's why they can't believe that there's someone like me who actually exists because I actually do the fucking work. So it's time that we recognize this is about you. Do you want to protect your children? All right, that Sound of Freedom movie came out. They made $120 million. You don't hear about child trafficking anymore. It's gone. Opportunist scumbags. This is about you. And I've spent my life wanting to fight them because it was deeply personal to me. And you have to make it deeply personal to you. They are killing your children. The graph is going down like this. Your child will have a shorter lifespan than you. Now, if you are truly a parent, truly an adult, and you care, then you're going to say, fuck, we need a systems overhaul. And we should follow this guy. We should follow this movement. And I better roll up my fucking sleeves and get involved, not sit and watch fucking Joe Rogan videos, not watch fucker Carlson videos anymore because they're fucking you over. We need a systems fucking overhaul. And that systems overhaul is going to come by you understanding the dynamics of systems. And the elites learn system science. It took me 50 years to put it together and to teach it. I could have stayed at MIT, been a professor and taught it to the elites, but I hate those fucking guys. I know where I come from and I decided to organize that into a curricula so all of you can get educated. You don't have to be a fucking PhD. You don't have to be a nerd. You just have to want to care. The bottom line is, if you're listening to this wherever you are, go to Truth, Freedom, and Health. Take advantage. Become a warrior scholar. We have a huge community now, about 500,000 people globally. 500 million people know about our movement. So you don't have an excuse to say, I don't know what to do. You can go to shivaforpresident.com and you can get the lawn sign, shivaforpresident.com. By the way, when you contribute to our movement, our campaign, we give you lots and lots of gifts. I can't take money for anything without giving something back. Remember, everything we're doing is to enable you to become activists on the ground. This is because there's no way we can defeat the swarm without us getting on the ground. So today's conversation, we've walked through a systems analysis of how their biology, how their policies kill your biology. But our campaign, our movement is about enabling you, about building a bottoms-up movement. It's not give me money, give me money, give me money, and then I'm going to be president. And then after I become president, then I'm going to do something for you. In today's talk, you've learned about what we can do to fight the mass mandates here and now, not after I become president. And then you've learned this particular systems dynamics of the fact that the swarm has no interest in you or your children. And if you still have any faith in them and you think you're going to vote for Republican or Democrat, you really need to have your head checked, okay? Because they're not going to do anything for you. The only way forward is a systems overhaul. And that way forward right now is Shiva for President. And that way forward is you learning the science of systems, you becoming a truth, freedom, and health warrior. Become a truth, freedom, and health warrior. Build the movement bottoms up and recognize we've created the movement. You just need to get involved. All right, everyone, on social media, we're going to go back to our open house. I invite all of you, if you want to come this evening, go to vashiva.com/orientation and sign up to join our 8 p.m. session. Today's conversation was on a very, very important topic. And the conversation was about how those in power really pass policies to destroy your biology. And that's what we discussed today, that they pass policies to destroy your biology. They have no interest in you living long and prospering. And you really have to take that to heart. The only person that has that interest is you and this movement. That's a global movement for truth, freedom, and health. So get involved, volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. By the way, go to Shiva for President, volunteer. We need to get on the ballot in every state. We have to collect tens of thousands of signatures, and we need your help to do that. Truthfreedomhealth.com, shivaforpresident.com.